Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 213. Um, every time Wavelink updates, it fucking messes up all the settings in OBS, but it doesn't always tell me when it updates, so I never really know. But yeah, we're here. We had to restart, but we're here. Um, yeah, John,
We're here.
John and Joel, we're here. I'm tired
We're
today,
here.
man. I'll tell you
I
what.
am too.
All right, podcast is canceled. This has been episode 213.
Yeah. We're gonna go
Um,
take a nap.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're here. We're going to talk about video games. John, um, fuck, hold
We're
on.
here.
I was, man, we're off to a slow start.
Uh,
If you're not already following us on Twitter, please follow us at Pixel Street over there. Check out the pinned tweet. You can find our YouTube channel there, or go to youtube.com/Pixel Street Videos. That's where we post all our podcasts, let's plays, unboxings. John posts some list videos sometimes, so definitely go check that out. You can also join our Discord with an invite there. So if you are bored over the holidays and want to talk video games or play video games, hit us up there. John's going to be playing a lot of Overwatch 2 probably in the next few weeks, I would imagine.
yeah,
Right?
hopefully.
Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't lying. Um, so yeah, check out
At
our Discord
at the
over there.
moment, we're a little over 50 people in the Discord. So if you don't like us, I'm sure there's someone in there you'll find that you like.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely. But if not, feel free just to leave, you know?
Yeah.
If you're
No
listening to
one's
this right
keeping you
now,
there.
if you're listening to this right now and you're in the Discord and you don't want to be, you can leave. Nobody's keeping you there.
Yeah. We'll just be very hurt if you leave.
Look, all I'm saying is like we were promised some premium nacho cheese content in that Discord like years ago at this point, right?
Were we?
Dude, you can't get a nacho cheese machine and expect us not to get content out of it. And yet
I'm getting the content.
I have
I'm
seen
getting the
zero
content.
nacho cheese content.
Someday, maybe. I
Have you
don't
ever
know.
used that thing?
Oh yeah, I've used it multiple
Dude,
times. The
how
problem is,
you've never even posted a picture, a video? I've seen a picture of the machine. I've never seen a
yeah,
picture or video of you putting cheese on anything.
yeah. No, the problem is, so the cheese I was getting only comes in like these big things, uh, these big like cans like that big, because those things are usually made for like like baseball games and stuff at the
Yeah, it's like
concession stand.
you would buy the cheese at like a Sam's Club, right? Something like
I
that.
got mine on Amazon. I don't know.
How hold
I've
on? How
never
much is
been
a
to Sam's
can
Club.
of cheese costing?
That would cost me like it was between $25 and $30. Um,
That's not
so
bad.
I've bought a couple of those, but the problem is that I can't eat that much cheese, and eventually it goes bad. So I'm like, I haven't bought any in a while because I'm
I'm
like,
looking
I
up
kind of
if
want to
you're
wait.
if you're watching on YouTube, I just search on Amazon can of cheese for nachos. I'm trying to see what kind of quantities we're talking. I see a bag of cheese.
That doesn't sound good.
Like it's like literally a bag of cheese that comes in a box.
I bet it's like the cheese you get in like the Kraft mac and cheese packet things.
Trying to figure out what you've been buying.
Give me a second. I can probably find it.
Oh, I
You know,
forgot to put big can of nacho cheese. That's
big
right. That's
can.
right. I was wrong. Was it La Preferida nacho cheese sauce? You buying
Hold on.
Mexican nacho cheese sauce or what?
When did I get that? I got it last year, so
The thing is, I know
yeah,
exactly
that
what
would
you're
have been.
talking about, and once I see it, I'll know.
It's like
But
a blue can.
Gale's mild cheddar, no, that's $95. Chef Mate,
Hold on. Let me. It's got to be somewhere in my order history.
I'm there's a lot of nacho cheese out there, John.
I know, which is why you have to get the right one.
I like this one that's called El Mexicano Nacho Cheese Sauce. Like, do you think it's just like more liquidy than nacho cheese, which makes it a sauce, or do you
Mm,
think that they just think that nacho cheese is a sauce?
that's probably it. Okay, I found it. It is called Ortega que Bueno nacho cheese sauce.
Let's look this up. Ortega K. Bueno, and is it good?
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's just that it's too much of it.
I mean,
And
6 pounds, 10 ounces. That's a lot of nacho cheese.
it is a lot. Yeah. Brandon Edison comments, "What the hell did I just jump into?" Welcome to the Nacho Cheese podcast. We're diverting here.
So
Nah, we're
for reference, John has a nacho cheese machine that you would find at like a gas station, and I'm asking why we've never seen content made from it. Like
because
he claims he's used it many
oh yeah,
times, but
I
not
have
one time has he ever posted a picture, a video, nothing of him
nope.
actually using it. John, this looks
He,
disgusting. Is
that's
this what it looks
because
like?
when it hold on
What is this
uh
picture?
yes, that's what it looks like when it's not heated up.
Oh, okay. So it looks
Yeah,
like it looks like peanut butter.
yeah. No, that's it before it's warmed. Brandon asked, "Does cheese have to be put into it? Why not beans or chocolate?" Yeah, you can put anything in it. Essentially, all it is
Is it just a
it's
heater?
a it's essentially a heater. There's like a big bowl that you can like take out of the like heating part. You can put whatever you want in there. It's just I only use it for nacho cheese because that's all that matters in my life. Yeah, if
Have you
I
ever thought
wish
to
that they
branch
had
out?
I wish that they had those cans in like smaller quantities, then I would
Oh,
be like over it all the
what kind
time.
of questions are people asking? Let's see. Is this the price per can or case? Dude, John, you definitely are the one that asked this question.
No,
You are definitely the one looking for a case of these giant cans of nacho cheese.
nah. I kind of knew that it was just the can.
Does this contain dairy? That's a funny question, but also a very valid question given how gross it looks. It looks like very
Hmm.
fake cheese.
Yeah. If you can anything, it looks
Okay,
gross.
my favorite one. Do it contain tomato?
Oh, because they want queso.
Yeah. But yeah, that's deep dive into John's nacho cheese obsession.
Yeah, it's so good. I actually haven't used it since I moved to this place because I haven't had
Well,
any cheese in a while.
for Christmas, John, I got you a whole case of nacho cheese,
Oh, a whole case, man! I can't wait.
so you can open your nacho cheese business out of your back door.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll start charging kids like $5 for my dad when well my dad bought me it. I want to say last Christmas or maybe the
I th-
Christmas before.
I think it was last Christmas.
Um he bought me it, but he also bought me like a huge thing of those like nacho trays that you get at like baseball games. So I could literally just start selling those trays of nachos to people.
You could.
Yeah.
Dude, John, just we're going way too deep into this, but I was gonna say just open up a stand undercutting the fucking at a little league game. Just undercut. It's like, oh, they're selling
I'm
their nachos for $5. Mine are $3.
I'll be sitting just outside of the park limits,
John's
just selling
queso.
nacho cheese. Yep. All right, let's talk about video games.
All right, John. The hot topic you have on here. For those who don't know, John is puts together 90% of these notes every week. So, sorry. To me, it makes sense just because like you're more in the know than I am most of the time, just because you write about this shit all the time. But yeah, this week, the showrunner for the Last of Us show claimed, and this is a quote. It's an open and shut case. This is the greatest story that has ever been told in video games. That is the boldest statement I've ever heard in my life.
Is it?
That's a pretty bold statement.
It
To say
is.
it's an open and shut case, the greatest story. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that, like, me and you, we both think that it's like a great story and like all that
Hmm.
stuff. But I don't know. Like, do
Yeah,
you think it really
not
is
it's
the
not an open
greatest?
and shut case.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course we love The Last of Us Part 1. This we're talking about Part 1 specifically, not Part 2 because that's the show is going off of that story, at least at the beginning here. Um, yeah, it's not an open and shut case. I There's a lot of video game stories that I absolutely love. I love the BioShock games. I love A Plague Tale recently. Requiem is one of the best stories in a game I think I've heard. Um, yeah, no, there's a lot of competition there, and it's definitely
The,
not as open and shut as some people would think.
this also like implies that this man has played or at least like knows every video game story ever made,
Hmm.
right? Like, which is just like a bizarre thing, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, it's
Yeah,
definitely a great story. Like, there's no doubt in that. Is it one of the best? Probably. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, to just say, like, oh, yep, that's it. This is the best gaming story ever made. It sounds like some shit post by somebody on Reddit,
yeah,
right?
right.
It sounds
Yeah,
like something
it
somebody on Reddit would post and then, like, never look at the comments or anything and just assume that they're, like, right the whole time.
yeah. His main reasoning is because it's a game about regular people without superpowers surviving extraordinarily difficult situations, and like there's more than just The Last of Us that does that. Um, Also, I would say that Joel apparently has superhuman hearing, the way that he can just like
See
listen
through
and
walls.
know exactly where everyone is. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Um,
literally, I'm watching gameplay from The Last of Us Part One, and they're hitting whatever I forget what button that is, but he can
it's
just like
been a
see the
while. Yeah.
shadow of a guy running down the stairs on the other side
Hmm.
of a bunch of like cans of paint.
Yeah. Uh, no, no one is denying that this is a great story, and it definitely is one of the best stories. I don't know if I would outright give it the best story ever. Um,
What would you give the best story ever? If I had to,
that's
if I had to
that's
hold you right now and say, John, you will never eat another ounce of nacho cheese unless you tell me what the greatest video game story of all time is. In your opinion, what do you think it is?
I would probably go with BioShock, man. I really love BioShock's story. And it's not even like a traditional story. It's more told through the environment and all of the recordings that you get on the side as you make your way through it. Just like the story of Rapture itself, the rise and fall of Andrew Ryan and the Fontaine part of it and all the little sisters and all the creation of these horrible splicers. Like there's so much there that I'm like, hell yes, man, that is so cool. I want to dive deep into that. Um, I know that this is gonna sound absolutely insane to some people. Joel, you are probably gonna laugh at me. The Kingdom Hearts story is amazing as well. It is
That's.
utter batshit crazy.
Let me
I
see.
understand that.
Let me try and mute you for a few seconds. Hold on.
I love it.
No, that's. I won't even consider Kingdom Hearts in any way.
That's fine.
You
It's totally
can't.
fine, and I
You
get
can't.
it.
You can't have that naming convention. You can't have people. Literally, there are books that have been published about people trying to explain the story of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I totally get it. I love these like absolutely insane out there stories in video games.
In my mind, though, a good
It's
story or
amazing.
even a great story does not need any further explanation other than this is what it is. Even if it leaves you like questioning what actually happens and doesn't happen, like that can still be a
Yeah,
good story. But
no.
it's
If you were to turn these into books, Kingdom Hearts would be a terrible book. The Last of Us would be an amazing book. You have me there, 100%. But video games aren't books. There's more to the story than just what's happening right in front of you. That's why I mentioned BioShock because you have all those recordings that you can go out of your way to get and everything. A Plague Tale, I would say, is would make an amazing book between Innocence and Requiem. Um, I'm trying to think of. I love the Zelda manga that they've made. I don't know how well I would say that a Zelda story is. Maybe that's just my bias saying, "Hey, I absolutely love Zelda." I don't know. Can you think of any other stories that you absolutely love? Brandon Anderson says Indigo Prophecy. I haven't played that, but pretty much anything with what's his name, David Cage. those are all great stories. That's Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain. Yeah, they're along the lines of Kingdom Hearts of being there's some absolutely batshit crazy moments in there, but they are good stories.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just I it's that's like an impossible question to answer in my head. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it's like I love a lot of video games for many different reasons, like gameplay for one. Story is probably like the main reason to play a video game. You know, more or less, right? Like
Hmm.
obviously Overwatch, John, you don't play hundreds of hours of Overwatch for the story. Like while you love the story and the
Oh, I
animes that they
love
come
that
out with,
story, but yeah.
but it's not why you play the game day to day. So yeah, I don't know. This is literally like an impossible question to answer because I love so
Oh,
many stories. Like I like
I
God of
have.
War, like 2018's God of War. I think that
Hmm.
story's great just because of like where God of War was prior to 2018, right? Because it was
Hmm.
something completely different and like Kratos was a completely different person before. And I never even played those old God of War games. I just knew what it was, right? It was like a fucking hacker slasher, like fucking kill everybody type of thing.
Yeah,
Where it was very much like the Master Chief thing, where like he's supposed to be like this killing machine more or less for like a higher, like the government pretty much.
but they made him
Um,
human.
yeah, but they made him human in God of War
Hmm.
2018. Same with like Halo in Halo Infinite. I mean,
Yep.
they only did in so many ways they tried to do it, but yeah,
Yeah.
they made him
Um,
more human.
I looked up some other good stories in video games. I do want to give a shout out to Telltale's The Walking Dead. I absolutely love that
Yeah,
series.
that's
Season
one
one is
that's one I was gonna reference when you said that quote of like, oh, these people don't have superpowers; they just are
yeah,
surviving through an apocalypse more or less, and that's literally this. You could say the same exact paragraph about The Last of Us Part One as you can about The Walking Dead season one.
yep. Also, shout out to Red Dead Redemption 2. That one has an amazing story from beginning to end. Say what you want about the like realistic tendencies of that game. The story is amazing. The Wolf Among Us is great. Uncharted 4, I would say, is amazing. The rest of the Uncharted games, story wise, I'm kind of on. Yeah, there's so many good. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Holy shit! Now that is a fucking good story. Um, if you were to put that into a book, that would be a fucking good read. The Last of Us, of course, is an amazing story. Again, we're not trying to disprove that, but there is a lot more in the conversation than just that.
Yeah, Brandon in the chat says that Conker's Bad Fur Day is a good story, and
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a joke or what because I've never played Conker.
it's a joke. It's a joke. It's
I
not a
know
good
that it's like a
story.
comical game, but
Yeah, it's funny. Really tough to go back and play these days, but it's funny.
yeah, it is. I guess. One sec.
What?
Sorry. No, I was gonna say let us know in the comments below if you think that um, Last of Us Part One is the best video game story ever told.
Yeah.
If
All
not,
right.
what is? What is?
Ugh. Joel's favorite game is getting fined. Did you know that, Joel?
Yeah, I read this on Twitter earlier. The FTC is fining Epic Games $520 million because of unfair microtransactions. That's as much as I know is that they're getting fined for unfair microtransactions.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't read into like what all that means, what that all means or anything.
Yeah, there. This is a big case, and since we're not lawyers, I'm not going to go into all of it. But FTC Chair Lena Khan says we're protecting the public and especially children from online privacy invasions and dark patterns is a top priority for the commission, and these enforcement actions make clear to businesses that the FTC is cracking down on these unlawful practices. The FTC says that Epic ignored more than 1 million user complaints over wrongful charges while purposefully obscuring cancel and refund features. There was also a bunch of stuff in there about voice chat settings being bad for kids. There's just a lot in here that the FTC is cracking down on. the big question, like I said, I'm not going into all this because wow, there is a lot. But my big question is like, how is this going to affect the gaming industry going forward? Because I could see this playing big into games like Overwatch 2. I don't know about Destiny so much, but maybe Apex Legends, just any free to play game that is just like got a really big user base of not just adults, but like everyone in between ages and everything.
I mean, this kind of goes back to like the whole like loot box fiasco of like, what, 5 years ago at this point, where like loot boxes were like super toxic in being like, it's basically gambling is what it came down to. And
Hmm.
like most games, I think, I don't want to say all games because I don't play games like World of Tanks or Warships or anything like that, so I don't know what their situation is. But most games have kind of veered away from the loot box style, um, and gone with like the battle pass type of thing, which I think is better personally. But I think that this is another one of those things where this could impact like what games look like in 5 years. Like very similar to that loot boxing, because there's no doubt that like microtransactions are very like misleading, I guess, in a way to like kids, right? Or like they're definitely advertising to kids to like get them to want to buy everything,
Yeah.
um, in terms of like wanting to collect all the skins in Fortnite in this example. Um, but yeah, the way this all reads to me, at least what these cliff notes that you have put in here, in like this quote from the chair, Lena Khan, it reads to me like they're using Fortnite, like that Fortnite is doing stuff that a lot of other companies are also doing, but since Fortnite's the biggest, they're
They're
using them
making
as
an
an
example.
example.
Yep.
Yeah, which is kind of shitty. Like, which I mean I get in a way like you have to crack down one way or another, but like the fact that Fortnite's getting fined all this money is like kind of crazy because it kind of sucks for them, right? Because like
I will say, Epic Games did come out and say that they agreed to the settlement because they want to be at the forefront of consumer protection and talking about laws that don't apply to today and everything. So they seem to be okay with this, even though it's a business. Of course, they don't want to pay $520 million, but
I mean
it's
them being okay with this makes me think it's like what other shady shit have they been doing that they're
what what
that
got
now.
by that they didn't see.
Yeah, exactly. Like that they're okay. Like, all right, we'll give you this 520 million FTC. Remember this. Remember this when you find out about all of our other dirty laundry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think there's some big changes for these free to play games coming pretty soon because it is. I wouldn't say it's as predatory as some games have been, like with the loot boxes, like you brought up, um, because you're not. I wouldn't say you're being forced into buying any of this stuff, but in the case of Fortnite, some people were like they were not meaning to buy things and they were just charging. Like I saw something about you would get out of you would get your device out of sleep mode and the game would just start charging you for a skin or something. I don't know.
John, question. So first of all, there's no doubt $520 million is like kind of chump change for Fortnite, right?
Oh yeah, they don't care. It's Epic Games.
How?
They're
Oh,
massive.
I just looked up. Now this is a very loose number, right? This is
Hmm.
based off of like context. How much do you think Fortnite makes in a day?
In a day, 100 million.
Oh, that's crazy. No, you
No, no,
that's
yeah, I take that back. I just threw that out there. We'll say it's a lot. I'd say 10 million.
so this number is loosely 2.8 million dollars a day,
Okay,
which is fucking insane.
yeah,
That is
it's a
so
lot.
much money.
That's like even more than the GTA 5 numbers a while ago, where it was like they were they were making it might have been like 1.7 million a day. That
It's
was a
crazy,
while
man.
ago
And
though.
all this came out of like that like half-assed game that was like what was it? Save the World, right?
Yeah,
That
save the
they like
world.
came out with, and then they pivoted to a
They're like,
battle
oh,
royale.
people don't like this. Oh, PUBG's popular. Let's make a battle royale of our own.
Hey, man, it's stuck. I'm still playing it. I was playing it last night. No shame.
Yeah. Are you getting your Are you getting any refunds out of this?
Yeah, I have no idea. How do I find out?
Mm, I don't know. I haven't looked into it because I never. I did see that they have to pay like consumers refunds for certain purchases, but I've never made a purchase for Fortnite, so I don't know.
I've made purchases and like nothing crazy. I think I've maybe spent like $60 in the game. So
Hmm.
I guess it depends on what skins I bought. Probably like which ones were I guess fall under this category. I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I doubt it's all purchases get some sort of refund, right?
yeah. I have no
So
idea. If you have bought stuff through it, take a look. All right. Moving on. The UK consumer group called Which, that's with a question mark, says that Joy-Con drift is from Nintendo leaving in a mechanical flaw, which found that the plastic circuit board found inside the controller showed noticeable wear on the contact points found on the joystick sliders, despite only being used for a few months. They also found contaminants like dust in the Switch's internal components, despite Nintendo's attempts to dust-proof these areas. They also came out and they're like, they were talking down on Nintendo's handling of the situation. We've talked about that in the past. Nintendo has not done a good job of handling this situation at
not
all.
at all.
Essentially, Nintendo's response came down to the percentage of Joy-Con controllers that have been reported as experiencing issues with the analog stick in the past is small, and that was about it. Besides, oh, if you have any problems, get a hold of Nintendo support and we'll take care of you. And we all know how that's gone in the past.
Yeah, I mean, like 9 out of 10 people aren't gonna want to send in their Joy-Con, right? Just because of drift.
Yeah, right.
Like your average consumer is not gonna have backup Joy-Con to use while this one
No.
gets sent in for repair. So it's like, I'd
Well, the
rather
thing
just
is,
play
like,
with the drift for now.
even when people have done that, Nintendo's doesn't fix the problem. They will send back your Joy-Con and it will still drift and everything. We've seen multiple issues of that. And then even if they send you back like a new pair of Joy-Con, it just takes a few months for it to begin drifting again. Like it's insane. I have my Legend of Zelda Joy-Con right here, and I am always terrified of using these because I love them so much and I don't want them to drift, but I know sooner or later they're going to. I hate it. I
Yeah.
really want I want these controllers to be so much better. The thing with Nintendo is that they have such a history of making well-made products. I mean, every console and accessory has a chance to have problems at some point. The NES had its issues. Um, yeah, you're gonna see that pop up every now and then. But for the most part, Nintendo does make quality products. It's just really off-putting to me to see this Joy-Con issue go on for so long and Nintendo to just keep on brushing it under the rug with like all these class lawsuits and
The thing
um,
is,
these
the
people
thing I
coming
was gonna
out and
bring up
saying this is
is
the problem.
if this was an Xbox controller or PlayStation controller, this would have been fixed so quick, right? Like they would have had a solution for this way quicker than I mean even Nintendo like they're sending out new Joy-Cons but they're still having stick drift right away. At least
Mhm.
with Microsoft or Sony, they would have come up with a solution internally and then at some point they would have reached a point where they're sending out controllers that actually are holding up over time.
We are almost 6 years into the Switch. In March, it will be
That's
6 years
wild.
since the Switch. Or no, is it six or is it five? Yeah, no, six. 2023 minus six. 2017 is when it came out. Yeah, so 6 years. Um, yeah, that's insane that we're still dealing with this problem. This has
John,
always been
do
a
you
problem.
think do you think the next iteration of the Switch, whether it's a Switch Pro or Switch 2, whatever it is in the future, do you think they use the same analog stick inside of whatever the Joy-Con or the controller is, whatever?
I think at this point I would say no because they don't want this problem to get up
But
again.
John, it's
But then
Nintendo.
again, it's Nintendo and they will always find a way to take the cheap route. If this is the cheapest option, they're going to take it and it's going to somehow end up blowing up in their face and we're going to be like, "Yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 is awesome, but there's still all this stick drift issues." Um I love and hate this company so much. Man.
Yeah,
Ugh.
well, I don't know, man. Nintendo's gonna Nintendo, and that's like every time we talk about Nintendo stuff, I feel like that's how the conversation ends. is that
right?
Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. I gotta put that on a shirt.
I'm sure it's somewhere already. All right, let's move on to quick news. Starting off, High on Life is Xbox Game Pass's biggest launch of 2022, the biggest third party Game Pass launch ever, and the biggest single player game launch ever on Game Pass. That's some pretty massive news there, especially for it. When did it come out? 2 weeks ago now? Um, yeah, that it's. I would say I'm pretty surprised that that is the one that's making like all these headlines and everything. Um,
I don't know. I'm not that surprised. I played through the whole thing this weekend, and I'll talk about it in a bit. But
Yeah, but my thing is like it the biggest single player game launch ever, it beat Halo Infinite.
yeah,
Like that's
I'm not
that's
surprised.
massive. That is huge.
I the reason I'm not surprised is I feel like this game reaches more audiences. Like not only is it reaching the like first person shooter fan, even though it's like, it's a first person shooter technically, but you know what I mean? It's not as serious as like Halo. Um,
Yeah.
but it's also reaching like fans of comedy. And like when I like my TikTok feed is like rarely video game stuff, which is weird. But
Mhm.
lately, like the past week, like since like last Friday, all it has been is like every 3 videos is a high on life
Ugh.
video of something funny coming up, of like
Yeah,
something
I
quirky in the
can't get
world that you
around
can find.
it.
And so like that's I think what is drawing people to play the game is like they see a clip like that clip of that little dude selling alien cum, right? Like I've seen that like
Mhm.
5 times now. And they see that and they're like, "What the fuck? Like what is this game?" Like, "Oh, it's on Game Pass? I got to check it out."
Yeah. It really does show just how massive Rick and Morty and just Justin Roiland as a name is right now, I guess.
Yeah, I know what. What do
I
you want
don't
me to
know.
say to that?
I
I've never watched Rick and Morty, so that's
Okay.
probably why I enjoy the game so much.
Okay. Well, then you should watch Rick and Morty because it's essentially the same thing. All right. Mobile game Assassin's Creed Jade has fully leaked online, even though
I
the
did
game
not see
hasn't
that.
like it hasn't been like fully shown or anything. But it's Assassin's Creed, so there's going to be leaks. Yeah, apparently the beta for it leaked, and people can like play it and stuff. I didn't look that hard into it because it's a mobile game and I don't really care.
Oh, it's a mobile game?
Yeah,
No, wait, is this the one like the samurai one?
it's in
It is.
China.
It is the
Yeah.
samurai themed one, I believe.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. I did not know this was a mobile game. That makes me kind of
Well,
sad.
there's another one. Uh, Assassin's Creed
Infinity?
Red. No, Infinity is the platform. Red is the like big scale
All
one
right,
that you're
you're losing
excited
you're
about.
losing me. Let's stop talking about this.
Okay. John Carmack has left Meta. If you don't know, he's like one of the most famous video game developers ever. Made Doom, head of id Software, Quake. Um, I the one thing I find interesting is his quote here because he's been at Meta for a while working on all these VR games. But before he left, he made a Facebook post and said, "We have a ridiculous amount of people and resources, but we constantly self sabotage and squander effort. There is no way to sugarcoat this. I think our organization is operating at half the effectiveness that would make me happy." Damn, that's a damning
That
statement.
sounds to me like they keep starting working on stuff and then higher ups are like, "No, kill it." And it's like, "Well, that was a waste of time and money."
Yeah, there's definitely something there that's not going right for him. Matthew Lillard and Josh Hutcherson are the leads in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which is finally starting to move forward. Jim Henson's Creature Shop is making costumes for the animatronics. Apparently, it's going to start production. I want to say it was in March.
I
So
did
if
not
you've
even
been
know that
wait,
they were making a movie.
they've been trying to make this movie for a long time. Scott Cawthon, the guy that made the games, apparently he's turned down like 10 scripts in the past, but now they finally have one that he likes and that they're moving forward with. Ash Ketchum is retiring from the Pokemon anime. If you didn't
Very
know,
sad.
he
Sad day,
finally
bad
did it.
day.
What?
Sad day, bad day.
Yeah, he finally became a champion, and now he's calling it quits. The Pokemon Scarlet and Violet anime will feature some new kids. One of them looks like it could potentially be his kid. Um, I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much. But yeah, no Ash, no Pikachu. A Horizon cooperative multiplayer game with new characters is coming in the future. So I think this was leaked originally, but Gorilla did put out a tweet for a job search and everything. It says, "We are continuing to create epic solo adventures for Aloy, but there is more. A new internal team is developing a separate online project set in Horizon's universe, featuring a new cast of characters and a unique stylized look. Friends will be able to explore the majestic wilds of Horizon together." I get it, good idea, but man, any time that there is Horizon mentioned without Aloy, I get a little. I don't know, man. I just really think Aloy makes that series as good as it is.
I still gotta play. What is it? Forbidden West. I
Forbidden
never
West, yeah.
played through all of that. I
Did
gotta get
you?
on that.
I guess we'll. Well, hey, we're talking about what we're playing now. Unless you have any collectibles,
Yeah, one collectible. Hold
cool.
on. I picked up Pokemon Silver over the weekend.
Heyo,
Right there. I paid $42 on the Shop Goodwill site.
which is a good price for that. A very good price.
Yeah, and on the back it has somebody's name from when they were a kid. I don't know
Oh,
if there's
John
any way.
Hanson.
Yeah, it says John Hanson. I tried look. I can't tell what it says. The first one is definitely Cody. The second one is kind of gibberish, but it starts with a D. I tried looking it up to see if I could find them on Facebook or something, but
That's weird.
no, dude, you know how fucking if you had a game, John, if somebody found your Pokemon Gold cartridge from when you were a kid, and it said your name on the back, and they message you on Facebook and like, "Hey, found this. You want it?" Would you
No.
say no?
Well, I would say yes, but I would never
Exactly.
offer it to them. I fucking bought it. It's mine. Brandon says to name your rival Cody.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is a very good
I have
idea.
not. I dude, I'm definitely gonna do it now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm very much like a stickler when it comes to playing Pokemon games, where I'm like, I always name myself Joel, right? And
Oh,
I just keep the default the rival. I usually just keep as Gary. You never even opened your analog pocket. Oh
I
my
got my analog
god.
pocket, guys.
I
But
cannot. Why did you open it?
because I have been busy with Christmas stuff and work, and I just been tired. And also, I haven't gone through and found my Game Boy games yet. But my analog pocket is right here with the
Nice.
dock, a screen protector. I will open that up tonight when I am done working and finally jump into it and see if I can figure out if there's a way to import ROMs on it, like you were telling me
Yeah.
previously.
You will need a micro SD card if you have one
Okay.
lying
I,
around to
I
update.
actually.
My advice is update the firmware of the Pocket to the newest one, and
Mm-hmm.
then when you plug that into the dock after it's updated, it'll automatically update the dock as well. I believe that's how it worked for
Gotcha.
me.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play some Game Boy games again. I ran the disc replay to see if they had anything in stock. I was debating on buying Pokemon Yellow, but I was like, man, I've had that game so many times in the past, and I have it on my 3DS. I didn't want to buy it. There was a couple others that I was close to buying, but I had Christmas shopping to do and
How
ended
much
up
was yellow?
50, 60, something like that.
So the thing I will say is like I've been playing red here and there on the Pocket, and I think when you plug red into a Game Boy Color, it plays it in color, doesn't it?
Uh, kind of. It's got like
The
a
red
lot of
tint.
those are a lot of those original Game Boy games. They put in like overall palette swaps.
Yeah,
It doesn't like it doesn't get it's like the red tint, like you're saying. It doesn't get like the
the
detailed
full,
colors.
yeah.
Yeah,
And on the Pocket, it doesn't show that at all. It just shows it as if it's in a Game Boy, like an OG Game
hmm
Boy. But yeah,
I think you can switch that.
No, you can, but I tried, and even when you switch it to Game Boy Color, it still shows it with no color at all.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. And from what I read online, it has something to do with like it, back in the day that was like a hardware thing. So
Mm,
maybe it's just not replicated on the analog, which it's not a big deal. But
yeah.
I did also I put in silver in man. Seeing the screen in color, it's so nice.
Silver is a beautiful Pokemon game. I love it so much. It's my
But yeah,
favorite.
that
What
is
else?
the collectible. I also got the analog dock. I want to stream something on it. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream Pokemon on it over the
Yeah,
weekend or something. I don't
hell
know.
yeah. All right. What you been playing, Joel? Tell me about God of War Ragnarok.
I beat it.
Heyo. All right.
I
So
beat it.
so are we doing our game of the years next week?
Yeah, yeah, we can. That's fine.
All right. Game of the year discussion next week. It'll be our top 5 for both of us. But yeah,
Yeah.
what'd you overall think?
I thought overall the story was great. Um, I wish that there were the Atreus missions. I didn't like at the time, but overall I'm fine with them. I didn't find I didn't really have as many issues with them as you did. I just wish they didn't drag on as long as they did, and that's kind of a similar issue that I had with not just Atreus missions, but like other missions as well. Um,
Mhm.
like I think I talked about it last week, where like even a mission I was playing as Kratos, it was like okay, we gotta find this one pathway, right? But we didn't know where it was, so we were kind of following leads, right? And we went to three pathways that were just dead ends of killing enemies, finding the hidden thing, and it's like, oh, this isn't it. Let's go to the next one. Let's find another one. It's like, I, I don't know. In a game like God of War, I don't really want that. Like, it doesn't have to be completely linear, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, all they had to do is have me go through the open world area like this mission did, and just go straight to the destination I need to go to.
Yeah.
You
I
don't have
do
to take me
feel
to three different places first, just for them to be dead ends.
I do feel like the story and just the general like structure of the game doesn't run as well as it did in 2018 God of War. I feel like that one just has better flow to it.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like this should have been a trilogy, but it ended up being two games.
Yeah, it pretty much
Um,
was.
is like that. That's the vibe I get from like some of these missions feeling longer just to feel longer, right? I don't know.
Hmm.
But overall, the story was great. Like the overarching story throughout both games, I think is amazing. Um, I just wish that this second game was a little more condensed than it was. Um, and to be fair, like I got to a point to where I was like just mainlining the game because I didn't want I wanted to beat the game before the end of the year to see how the story played out, and I wanted to avoid spoilers. Which man, I'm so glad I avoided spoilers because like the day after I beat it, somebody just like tweeted like, "Okay, I've given you guys enough time to beat God of War. Here's this huge spoiler," and like what it wasn't hidden behind anything. It was just like a picture. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like that's not cool." Um, so yeah, I don't know. Story overall, I thought was great. I wish, like I said, I wish it was condensed down a little bit. The gameplay is amazing. Um, I don't want to go too much into it just because like I don't
We'll
want to
talk about
spoil
it next
stuff.
week.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
I fucking loved it. I thought it was great.
All right. Uh, I'll keep my first one short here. Overwatch 2, of course. I'm going to be playing this for a long time. Um, yeah, there's a lot of animosity right now towards Blizzard in general. So like everything they do, people are like, "Oh, this sucks." So like yesterday they came out with a developer blog explaining the MMR system, which is pretty much how you are grouped up against your enemies and everything, how it makes teams. So of course everyone was getting on them because certain areas of that they didn't like. Um, they're selling a Bastion legendary skin in the Winter Wonderland event right now for 1 coin, which was really funny because it I wrote a news article on it yesterday, and I was like, Blizzard is giving you this Christmas gift, and somehow they're still overcharging you
Yeah,
for it, like
yeah,
something that should be free, they're still making you pay for.
I wonder
um,
why. Like, why is that? It doesn't make sense.
that doesn't make sense. At that point, you might as well just give it to everyone.
Like,
Like the one
are they
point thing is like,
are they trying to throw like your coin balance off so that like at a certain point you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I'm one coin short of buying this skin. I gotta give them another $10 to get another 500 coins or whatever it is, just so I can
maybe
have one more coin.
I could very much see them like not doing this again until next Christmas because that's just how Blizzard operates. Like I really don't expect them to ever like give away skins or stuff like this again. So that one coin, it could really it could force you into buying a package of coins in the future that is uh, a little more than you wanted. I don't know. It's ridiculous to me. Um, but yeah, other than that, I love Overwatch still, man. Ramatra is about to come to competitive tomorrow, I believe. So that'll be fun. I like playing as him. Yeah, I'm just enjoying the game a lot right now. So if anyone wants to play, hit me up.
Yeah, I do want to play more Overwatch for sure. I was busy playing two games now. I beat God of
Yeah,
War, um, and I beat another game called High on Life, John.
you did.
I started it. I don't remember what day that was. I think I started on
You got
Friday.
through it fast. I'll tell you that you got through it fast.
Dude, for me, like it's hard for me to commit to playing a game front to back, especially in like the span of a weekend.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that game was great. I loved every second of it, man. I know, like when I was gonna start playing it, you were like, "Oh yeah," like you were just like making fun of Justin Roiland and being Justin Roiland. But
Hmm.
so like I could tell you're kind of sick of that kind of humor. But like for me, like I'd never watched Rick and Morty. I've seen like maybe two episodes ever. Um, I don't know. It just struck a chord in me where I thought like most of it was hilarious. Because I think that it goes outside of like what most video game humor is, right? Like this is actually like literally like I said earlier, we found a little dude selling alien cum, and it was just the funniest shit ever. And like to be fair, like the game's not big enough to where it has like hundreds of those really funny things. So it gets annoying when you see the same TikTok from five different content creators about the same stuff.
Yeah, they're
But I
trying to
mean,
get the views on the same thing. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean it's a small independent studio, right? Small, right? I think they have like 50 or 60 employees, which is kind of a lot, but they're still an independent studio that put out this game. For me, I feel like it was the perfect length. I think it's like 10 hours if you like do the main story and like kind of like explore a little bit, which is I think I put 10 to 12 hours in total. So
Hmm.
I feel like that's the perfect length for this kind of game. Because I could see like if this was like a 50-hour game or 40-hour, something crazy, I could see the guns getting super annoying. Um, like even Elise, like she was watching me play it and she's like, "Yeah, it's funny. I just hate that the gun's staring at me this whole time." So
Yeah.
I guess
Right.
that's a good critique, like as somebody who was watching me play. But like in my mind, when I'm playing a game like a shooter, I don't really look at the gun, right? I'm looking at like the ridicule. I'm looking around, like where I'm going.
Yeah.
But for her, she looks at the screen. She just sees these two like googly eyeballs staring at her.
Yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah, I've only played like 2.5 hours of it. I'll get back to it at some point. It's not something I want to go back to right now. It's something I have to play in spurts, and I I started going back to MLB the Show because I got bored one night and I was like, I have no desire to play High on Life at the moment.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to AK. He just gifted me 1,000 bits on Twitch. I don't think I've ever been gifted bits on Twitch ever. So
Oh, that's neat. What
yeah.
what are bits for?
Does this mean I have to start streaming now
Yes,
more regularly? Like I keep saying I
yes,
want to.
yes.
Dude,
We keep saying a lot of things that we want to do.
yeah. No, dude, now that I have the analog pocket dock, I legit want to stream stuff
Hell yeah, it's
like
exciting that
Pokemon for sure I want to stream. 100% I will stream
yeah.
it.
Do it.
Um yeah, I don't know. I wish there was a
All
way we
right.
could like do some sort of like co-stream where like we put both of our screens up. I don't know. I don't know how
Oh,
that would look.
we could, but
We'd have to figure it out.
we would. Yeah, we could definitely do it through Discord. Um, It's just we would have to pay for the nitro stuff to make our resolution better.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll figure something out.
Yep. All right. I have also been playing a lot of Vampire Survivors, like a ton of Vampire Survivors. I am totally hooked into the game
Do
now.
you have all the achievements?
No, I'm not that far into it. Uh last night I was trying to complete the 5th main level. Um I they that game has a ton of small achievements. Like none of them are big. I want to see if I can pull it up on my phone how many I have. I have a lot of them and I've been like going between the characters and like evolving these different weapons. I have 98 achievements out of 159 right
John, I
now.
have a question. How do I started playing that game again the other day. I think last night I played a round or two. How do I advance? Like, how do I unlock more levels? Like other maps, I guess you could say.
For me, it happened when I was reaching level the 30-minute timer,
Okay,
and you've
because
done that already, haven't you?
no, I the longest I've gone
Oh,
is like
okay.
25, 26 minutes, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, no.
But
Once you
I've been struggling lately. The newest character I unlocked is the guy that I think starts with garlic around him. I'm not 100. Is it
hmm
garlic around him or something?
yeah,
And
it's garlic.
I started playing as him last night for one round. I was like, oh, this guy's kind of OP because like I was just walking
He's
around and like everybody was just dying around me.
yeah, he's fun. Um, yeah, no. Once you hit 30 minutes, uh, a Grim Reaper will come and kill you, and it'll say like level completed, and then you can choose another level.
Okay, because I didn't hit 30 minutes, but I saw the Grim Reaper.
That might have just been like a regular enemy.
Okay,
There's a specific Grim Reaper that comes up to you and it like stays right on top of you and kills you instantly.
because I was listening to Cheap Ass Gamer podcast. I listen to them pretty frequently, like every week. And one of the guys on their shipwreck, he like has made builds to where he's just left his controller and like gone and done stuff for
Yeah,
like an hour and come back, and this guy's still
I,
just killing everything.
I've seen people do that. I haven't been able to make a build like that. I have made one where like I would just sit still and just like look at my phone for a while and just let the game play itself. But when I did that, I died at like 28 minutes and I was like, God damn it. If I was looking and probably moved around, I probably would have been fine.
Yeah, you
But
could have saved it.
mhm.
But no, yeah, that game is a ton of fun. Did the DLC come out already?
Yeah. Yeah, you can buy it. It's like
two
with Game
bucks, right?
Pass, it's like $1.79. I bought it and I haven't even really played any of the DLC stuff yet, but I know I'm going to. I think this is probably my favorite game to play on my phone with XCloud. I'll just it
That's where I was playing it. I was playing
with
around during work yesterday on the
yeah.
Razer Kishi
Yeah, well, whether it's with my Kishi or just the
touch
screen
controls.
controls, it works. Like it's probably my favorite XCloud game ever, and I think it's brilliant for that. So it's not something I plan on giving up anytime soon. It's man, is it addictive? When I first played it and put up the let's play on our channel of it, I was like, I don't really get this. Like, why do people love this so
Yeah,
much?
I did.
I'm
The first 5 minutes of that let's play, you were just like, "Huh, let's see what this stupid game's all about."
yeah,
Everybody's playing it, and now
yeah.
listen to you.
I am 100%
You
hooked
bought
on
the
it right now.
DLC for a free game,
Yeah.
kind of free, I
Well,
guess.
kind of free. Yeah. It's totally worth it. It's such a good game. Yeah.
If you're listening to this right now and you've not played Vampire Survivors, highly recommend it. It's an amazing game. Like John said, super addictive. Um, gonna be in our
And there's
Game
a
of the
phone
Year
app now for
talks.
it.
A
There's a
phone
phone
app?
app for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on iPhone and Android. But yeah, definitely gonna be in our Game of the Year talks next week. So
100%.
yeah.
All right.
Um, is that
I think that
it?
does it.
You got any
Yeah.
other video game stuff you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, I mentioned that I've been playing the show again. I'm starting to get that itch where I want baseball to come back. uh, oh, how about game? Oh, we keep forgetting to put in the games you want to play thing in here. Um,
Oh,
Yeah. There was Tomb Raider Anniversary. Uh, I downloaded that. It's a 360 game. I downloaded it on my Xbox a while ago, and it's something that I was like, okay, I'll get to this at some point in the future. I'm hoping within the next week I'll start that. So maybe I can talk about that after the new year. Um, it's a remake of the original game. The only Tomb Raider games I played is the recent reboots. I've never played anything older than that, so I'm pretty excited to give that a
Oh,
look
is
and
this a
see.
new release?
No, no, it came out on the 360. Um,
Oh,
but I've never played the older Tomb Raider games, so I really want to give it a try. And so I'll
I don't
talk about
even.
that in the future.
So is this like a remake of the first few games?
Just the first game, I want to say.
Okay. Cool, dude. I
I could
remember
be wrong.
my older brother had the. I don't know if it was the first one or the second one, but it was one of the ones where like the tutorial at the beginning, you were just running through the mansion,
Hmm.
right? And like had to like do monkey bars and stuff. Dude, I remember being a dumb kid and having no idea what I was doing, and just like, this game sucks, because I
Right.
didn't know where to go or anything. Because like, dude, being a kid back then, there was no instructions in games really. It was just kind of
Hmm.
like, hey, you need to go here, but like, there's no, it doesn't tell you what any of the controls are. Nothing. It's just like, figure it out, kid.
Yeah, and back in those days, the controls were like super weird compared to today too. I want to say like,
Like tank controls.
yeah, they were all tanky and everything. I'm very excited to give it a try though. Like I said, I love the Tomb Raider reboots, um, but I've never played the original one, so very excited to see that and kind of compare it to what I know it to be.
For me, a game that like I think the top game I need to play is probably Horizon Forbidden West. Like that's a game I really want to get to now that like God of War's out of the way. Um, High on Life was a good like palate cleanser for me. Like it was just kind of a shorter experience.
Hmm.
So Horizon Forbidden West is one. Another one, I don't know. I keep talking about it. I wanna at least give Death Stranding a try. If not just to watch like some of the opening cinematics and then be done with it. I don't know. I just want to check it out. I want to know what the fuck is the Kojima hype all about? Everybody like loves this dude, and I don't get it. I don't understand why. And it's mainly because I've never played any of his games. I played Metal Gear Solid 1, but like, come on, old game's old, right?
Maybe we'll talk about some New Year's resolutions in gamings for like series and games we want to play coming up here soon. Because I also want to play a Kojima game, like a full Kojima game. Be something we could talk about. But yeah, I I'd be interested as well. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's going to wrap up episode 213 of the Pixel Street podcast. As always, thank you so much for watching or listening to the show, whether it's live on whatever. What do you listen to us on SoundCloud, on
Spotify.
Spotify, wherever you're listening or watching. We greatly appreciate having you. Let us know in the comments below what you think of the show, what can make the show better. Follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street, and you can check out our pin tweet there to find links to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pixel Street Videos, and our Discord, where we hang out, talk about games. I gave away a T-shirt from Diablo 4 this week. I forgot to send that to Adam. I just remembered that right now, so I gotta send that his way. Maybe tomorrow I'll try and run to the post office and do that. But yeah, so definitely hang out in our Discord. Come hang out, talk games, play games, you know, do the thing. John, where can the people find you and your writing on the internet?
On Twitter, I am at Revx Shadows, and you can find my writing on GamePro.com. Just doing a lot of random writing right now. This morning, I put up the top 10 saddest video games ever. Yeah, so go there if you want to find some games you can cry to. Other than that, I'm also working on a funny video games ever, funniest video games ever list. But besides that, I don't really have anything at the moment. I have particularly planned for our YouTube channel. Maybe I'll be able to think of something over the Christmas break.
Cool. Dude, maybe we'll figure something out to start posting on YouTube from the analog pocket. I don't know.
I don't. Oh, my headset just died. I have no idea what you just
Okay.
said.
All right.
End the
Well,
show. End it.
well, this is the end of episode 213. You can find me on YouTube. Pixel Street Videos, twitch.tv/Campo63, or twitter.com/Campo63. We will be right back here next week with episode 214 of the Pixel Street podcast. Bye. I had to say bye for John because that's how he says it, and that's normally when I cut to the thing. But I had to do it for John because his headset died.